All right, good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday. How are you? Welcome to today's Train Sim World 3 live stream, not Microsoft Flight Simulator. I am your host and train operator, Uncle B. Today, we are on the home route. Surprise! We're doing it. We're on Peninsula Corridor, my home route. And technically, I guess you could not even say technically, I consider it my home route. We are going to do two services today. We're going to start off in the MP36PH3C CTX right there, as you can see it on the screen. Although you'll see it more when we spawn in. We're going to do a what they call a baby bullet service from San Francisco to San Jose, and then once we get done with that, we're going to hop into the Nippon Sharyo gallery cab car and do a limited stop service from San Jose to San Francisco, and then we'll be done. No stream tomorrow. I do have physical therapy later today. I was supposed to do it yesterday. They canceled because the physical therapist wasn't coming in. Apparently, nobody knew or didn't realize it until the day of. So, yeah, that's what we got going on. I'll give it a few minutes. Of course, there's no route. It's just not multiplayer, so don't think that you're going to join in unless you have the game. You could do the same service as me, but there is no multiplayer system in this game, and that's a good thing, I think. I don't. I wish. I hope they never do it. Um, but anyway, so for those who want to play along, if you've got the game, you can load it up, and I'll give it a few minutes, and then you can do the uh, same services I'm doing if you so desire. If not, it's perfectly fine. It's not a big deal. So, yeah, we'll give it a few minutes. I'm going to sip my coffee, continue to wake up a little bit here, and then we'll get started and we'll be on our way. Hopefully, everybody's doing well today. Don't be afraid to say hello. We got time to chit chat. Got a few minutes. I think we'll go. Wait about 6:55. We'll get started here. I'm sitting here talking to myself. So about an hour, a little over an hour down, and it'll be well over an hour on the way back up with the limited stop services. It's yeah. So all right, about 3 minutes. We'll get started in 3 minutes. We'll spawn in. So for our first run today, I'm going to do this 6:34 service. It says an hour 8, but I think it'll be a little bit quicker than that. We'll see. So it says 3:10 San Francisco, San Jose, Dearden. This is our first one. So if you're loading up the game, you want to play along, that's the one we're going to do first. But again, there's no multiplayer. It's not like you're going to spawn in and we're going to see each other in San Francisco. Okay? That's not how it works. Now here's the weird thing. When I it had given me it was on the correct date for today's date. Why is it did say 5 April before. Now all of a sudden it's not giving me the huh. Oh well. All right, I think I'm just going to go ahead and spawn in since nobody wants to say hello. I try to give you guys time to say hello before I get started, and my attention's taken. Morning. See, now, just as I hit the spawn in button, Joseph says hello. Oh my God, Joseph, what do you like? All right, let's get this start going here. Let's see, it's on this side. All right. That's why I start a little bit early so that it gives you all time to come in and say hello, so I don't have my all right. Doors. There we go. There's that. Oh, I gotta get my where's my light at? There we go. There's that. Brakes. Give you guys plenty of time to come in and say hello before I get started. All right, away we go. Parkville Park right there. Our first stop, the dodgy 22nd Street. Cartel 99 Gaming. It's going fine, thank you. How are you? I don't recognize your name, although you're not a first-time chatter, so you must have followed me at some point, and I don't remember your name, unless you changed your... So yeah, first stop, dodgy 22nd Street. My least favorite stop on this route. It always looks suspect. That's good to hear. Our lights should be on. Yep, they look like they are. In the passenger areas. So this route in real life is still being electrified. I didn't realize this. I was kind of reading some stuff about the route. Apparently, Nippon Sharyo was supposed to do the cars for the electrified line and lost the contract, I guess. And so Siemens is the one doing all the... That's why I think the new ones will have a European kind of look to them. Get a little speed going here. We don't want to be late on our first stop there. Help it. Although we probably will be just a little bit. It's going to be close. Maybe not. We might be there on time. going to be we might be a little bit late. Yep. We didn't get there in time. Yep. Already started off on the wrong foot. Late. Oh well, what can you do? Yep. Dodgy. This whole area, dodgy. Used to look a lot worse. This looks a little bit better, but only barely. Alright, Millbray's next. Now, what most people don't know is originally the way this route goes now was not the way that it went a long time ago. It used to go up over that way and then to another part of San Francisco. And they put this route together it was supposed to be a lot better and it was easier to manage, I think. Yeah, but originally this was the Southern Pacific route before Caltrain came into existence. Through South San Francisco here. Speeding. Looks like we're going to go across, we're going to go off the main line here, and so we have to get down to 65. Nope. It's weird that it would make us slow down, but Candlestick Park was right over that away. once we get on the other side of this hill here, we should see the sign for South San Francisco. Millbrae, of course, is the stop for San Francisco International. You hop off here, and then you go over to the BART station on the other side. Take BART right down into the airport. I was going to do some freight, but I figured, nah, a lot of people are very particular about American freight. I know many people who watch the British Ace, Joe, do this, play this game. Whenever he's done American freight, boy, I tell you, talk about some hateful people. My God. I've never heard people get so fussy about a frickin' train route before. Why are you playing this boring, slow stuff? I want to see the fast stuff. Ugh. Thank God. Should be like right up there somewhere. Did they take it out? Should be a lettering up there on the hill that says South San Francisco. That's missing. Oh, wait, maybe. Hold on. No, it's not there. It should be there. That's kind of odd. I thought it used to be there in the game, but maybe, I don't know. Oh well. Boy, it's like dead in the chat today. Y'all would have been excited to see my home route. Guess not. Maybe I should have done freight. At least then you guys would have been all pissy about it. Alright. Just under 3 miles to get to Millbrae. Goes the gallery cab car heading for San Francisco. Boy, it's been a while since I've done this game. We'll definitely make it on time here. Not sit and wait a little bit. So yeah, there's the BART tracks there. It does take you out to the airport that's out that way. Might hear a jet fly over here in a minute. Sometimes they'll take off. Go ahead and lock the doors. Yeah, I was be talking to myself today. Oh, I hear it. Oh, there it goes. There's a jet. Oh, there's one there. Here comes another one right here. Alright, let's get out of here. Redwood City's next. We'll go right by the arch there at Redwood City. Of course, they don't get right on the throttle like that. They release the brakes, get a little power going, and then they ratchet up the Alright, Redwood City and the Menlo Park. I like to get right on the throttle. The only way you can kind of, on this route, if you do it the way they're supposed to, it will never be on time. Cap Parsons. And now you guys got commercials, so now I don't have to talk. I'll let the commercials do the talking. think we're catching up to another train because we're getting a lot of yellows now. I think we're going to be pulling into Redwood City pretty early here. Yeah, it's flashing like we're... Must be somebody we're catching up to. Yep, there is another train in front of us there. Yep, alright. Oh boy. We'll creep up a little bit towards the... I thought for sure we were going to blow that red light. So yeah, there's another... There's another train right there in front of us there. So yeah, we're... That's okay. It must be on a all-stop service. Alright, now we can move on. Red is right up there. Station is right there. Try to get a little bit of distance between us and the other train, but they must have stopped here at San Carlos? Yeah, San Carlos. No, he's stopping at, so they're going to stop there, our next stop there in Redwood City. Yep, I sure did. So we're going to try to get as close to that red as possible so that as soon as they depart, we can get right into that platform. Good morning, Amela. Oh, look, Amela says hello. Now Joseph wants to talk. Oh, my goodness. What do you like, Joseph? Honestly. I thought you would have been excited to watch me play some Train Sim World 3. Joseph. Tough crowd today, I tell you. Yep, I gave him time. As soon as I hit the spawn in button into the locomotive, that's what he wants to say hi. Can't get a word once. That's a regular occurrence for you, Joseph. What are you talking about once? That is that's always a threat for you. Red lights that you're gonna go through them. Let's talk about once. Yeah, I do like it, even though it's clearly outdated. It would definitely need a facelift and all that because it does not look like this anymore. The roadbed is a lot of it's been replaced with new gravel and new rail lines. The infrastructure's already there for the electrification of the route. You know, it just doesn't look like this anymore. They really need a major update on this. There it is. Redwood City, climate best by government test. There it is. We might get dinged on the timing here as well. Maybe. Yeah, we're gonna be. Yeah, that figures. I always have a problem getting this one right. I don't know why. I had pepperoni pizza last night for dinner. I ordered it while I was watching Pulse play this new game. I've never heard of it before. I can't remember what it was called, but I watched that, and so I ordered a small pepperoni pizza from Papa John's and had that for dinner. I ate the whole thing because it's not like a lot of. Not a lot to it. All right, Menlo Park is next. Let's go. Here we go. How was your Ramadan, Abella? Did you enjoy your time with your family and everything? Said you had to pick up some family from the airport there. Look at that. I think Joseph might have forgotten that you were still, I don't know, I don't remember when it ends and when you're able to eat again and all that. Oh, okay. Amy turned 3 yesterday. Wow. Hard to believe she's 3 already. Jeez. I think Joseph was going to ask you what you had for dinner, but I think he's forgotten that it's Ramadan and you don't eat during Ramadan. You're not supposed to. See, there we go. Joseph, Amela fasts during Ramadan. That means he doesn't eat. You're not supposed to eat. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Only after the sun sets. Okay. I thought it was you weren't supposed to do it at all. Maybe I misunderstood the. I don't know why I thought that. Oh, maybe I got bad information before. I don't know. Joseph. Burger and mashed spaghetti. What is mashed? I don't. You know what? I don't think I even want to know what mashed spaghetti is. That just. You know, Joseph, that the Bex has baked potatoes mashed. So mashed potatoes. You're confusing me. You're confusing me, Joseph. I don't quite understand you. Oh, look, we got the rain now. Ooh wee. I'm confused now. You're lucky Bex isn't here, or maybe she's lurking because she would have docked you for that saying "use" instead of "you," Joseph. Bex is the backup mod while Mick's out of town. Ooh, lightning strike. Ooh, I hear thunder now. Ooh, that's pretty cool. That's different. Yeah. My driving today is atrocious. Yeah, we're late here. You've got a surprise for everyone tonight. Oh, Joseph. What's the surprise? You're gonna play FIFA? Wow, that sounds legit in my headphones. Wow, this is different. All right, Palo Alto, my favorite station, is coming up. Trying to get some wheel slip here because the tracks are wet now. Yep, there it goes. Just have to wait and see. Well, I may not be there, Joseph, because I got physical therapy this afternoon. So you might as well just tell me what the surprise is now, because I don't think I'm really going to be surprised. It's either that or it's going to be Battlefield, or I don't know. But you might as well just say, Joseph. Because I know Pulse is streaming tonight, and he said he was going to be back on with that game that he was playing. Oh, no, wait, I know what it is. You got that the Farming Together game, didn't you? Yeah, I just figured it out, Joseph. You know, I think we're gonna have to send a Mello over there to snatch you up and bring you back to the Bronx for a little. I just don't know what to say anymore. Well, that sounds legit, the rain on the fallen here. Mountain View, my other favorite stop. Joseph, I wish, mate, you would just do your own thing and not have, you don't have to buy all these other games that everybody else is playing. Honestly, you get so fixated on what everybody else is doing instead of, you've got plenty of other stuff to play. You don't need to go and buy just because Bex does it. You don't. You got to just do your own thing. Yes. Well, I mean, it does look fun, but you get so fixated on what everybody else is doing. You're like, oh, I got to get this now. And then you want everybody else to play it with you, and it's fine for a stream or two, and then you find, oh, I got to get this other game now. You gotta just, you got so much. You have all these routes on Train Sim World 3 that you could be doing, right? That stuff that you had from Train Sim World 2, and you could hardly be bothered with that. But whatever. You gotta stop. Well, do what you gotta do, Joseph. I don't know what to tell you, because this is like I'm sorry, like it's a pattern with you. Look, you chase down Police Sim, you got that. You don't hardly play that ever. You know? But you have enough as it is. You hardly do any of those. What do you want more for? That's what I'm saying. You have plenty of stuff and you hardly play the game as it is. Yeah. I mean, Chris got you the Scottish route. You do that like once in a blue moon. You gotta... You can't keep just... At some point, you just have to be happy with what you have. See, if you had a PS5, you could get Fern Bus, right? Do you like those bus sims? Yeah, you gotta. You have so much already, and you want more, or you like, oh, I see so and so playing it, and then you play once or twice, and then you never go back to it again, and then it just sits there, and you've wasted the money, right? Hey, it's your gig, Joseph. You do what you gotta do. I mean, heck, you got FS22, and you don't hardly ever stream that anymore. You used to be able. You did a farm on your own on FS19. Tell you, Joseph. Well, I know, and I do too. But you used to be able to. You did your own farm on FS19. There's small maps on FS22 where you could have your own farm and do your own thing. I know you help people out on FS19, but you still had your own farm. Is what I'm saying. There it is. Mountain View, yes. Google is here in Mountain View. They're over by the, I think it's called Shoreline Amphitheater, is right near where the Google campus is. Yeah, exactly, Joseph. That's Milla hit the nail on the head. You see somebody play something, you're like, oh, I see them streaming it. Now I gotta get it, because then I'm gonna get everybody else to play it with me. And it's just like, no, you have plenty of stuff to do on your own. You gotta stop worrying about what everybody else is doing. You're never gonna, the old saying of keeping up with the Joneses, you're never gonna keep up with the Joneses. You gotta just be satisfied with what you have. You know, I'd like every plane in Microsoft Flight Simulator, but that's not very reasonable. You know, just because somebody else flies it does not mean I have to. Right? You gotta learn to be happy with what you have. I know it's not easy, but that's the reality of it. All right, on our way to San Jose. You know, it's like in photography, for instance. Oh, so and so has the new camera. I got to get the same camera as them. No, I don't. All I have to do is go out and try to take the best pictures that I can with what I have. That's it. I don't need all the fancy. I don't need all the new gear all the time. You know. You know, it's like, oh, my neighbor's got a new BMW. I gotta go get a new car now as well. Why? Just because my neighbor has a new car? Oh, Amela went to Italy for vacation. I gotta go to Italy now. No. Why? Just because Amela went? You know. You're never. You gotta just be happy with what you have. If you're not, you're gonna drive yourself crazy trying to keep up with everybody else. It's not healthy. Now it's different if And Bella went to Italy and said, "Oh, Rob, you got to go to Italy. You got to check this out sometime. If you ever get to go here. It's amazing. You know, the food, whatever, the scenery. That's different." But if it's like, "Oh, you know, Bella went, now I got to go too." No, I don't. You know, I'd like to, but if I try to keep up with what Abella's doing, I'm gonna be like, it's never gonna go well. I'm probably gonna go broke trying to keep up with Abella. For instance. I know it's easy to get caught up like, oh, I saw so and so, and it does look like a fun game, but I don't want it because that's something that I like. I like watching Bex and Mick play that game because it's entertaining and you know it's their thing. I if there's a game like No Man's Sky, if Mick says, you know, hey, I think you'd enjoy this, why don't you know? If you ever get a PS5, get it. We'll play it together. That's a different thing because I'm not getting it, you know, exclusively to play with him or hope that I'll play with him, right? He's saying, yeah, we can do this together. If you want to play, I'll start another story fresh with you, and we'll go exploring together. Because we've agreed, you know, that's something we said. That's, you know, if we talk about that. But if I go and I'm like, okay, I'm going to get this because I hope, then no. Because what if Nick says, well, I would, but then I feel like I just wasted my money. Right? But yeah, just like if I get a PS5, and I know me and Pulse and Mick will play Division 2, but on the times that they don't want to play, I know I can go on there and play by myself because there's things that I can do on my own, and there's things I'd like to do with them, right? But if I buy it and I'm like, oh gee, I hope, you know, Pulse said, yeah, we could, you, me, and Mick will play together, you know. That's we talk about that. I don't hope, you know, or pin my hopes that we'll do that because it's not fair to them. You know. Sometimes you just have to sit back and enjoy watching other people play. That's it doesn't mean you have to do everything that they're doing. Well, okay, so there's Max Payne. So you got all these games that I used to play this, I used to do this, and maybe I'll play it again. You know. So you have all this stuff, and you're oh, I see this, and I gotta have. It's like the shiny new toy, right? I love the new German route. Am I going to buy it? No. Why? Because why should I give Dovetail any of my money? I don't think they've earned it. And their prices, I think, are way too high right now. For a route that is generally broken in some ways, no thanks. I'll stick to what I have. I'm content with this. You know. But I enjoy watching Joe play it. You know, but it doesn't mean I have to have it. because that's what always would be the thing. Oh, so and so has this. So and so is running this on. They're featuring this. Oh, everybody go out and buy it. Why? Why do I? There's a law that says I have to have everything that Joe has, or anybody else for that matter. The only person that makes that law is myself. And if it's like, yeah, okay, I like this route, I'll get it, that's different. I've made that decision on my own, not because of what somebody else did. Oh, it's still in. Oh, that's right. I like Fernbus, but I don't know that I would buy it, But I enjoy watching Jody play it. I know Joe plays it every so often, but Jody does pretty well with it. Alright, there's the maintenance facility there. There's the train wash. The refueling station right there. Looks like there's a train getting ready to pull into the station once we pass by. Oh, no, that's a... Maybe it is. Maybe it was... Yeah, Joseph, just try to be yourself. Quit worried about what everybody else is doing. I think we're barely going to make gold out of this one. We'll hop over in the gallery cab car for our second one, and then we'll wrap things up here. I think I barely got gold. Yep. All right, let's go to menu there. Let's see, what do we have for a that's saying a baby bullet. I'll stop. Well, let's do the 603 baby bullet to San Francisco. All right, there we go. Now our weather or our date is correct. Saying the 5th of April. That's today's correct date. I don't know why the other one wouldn't. Oh, look at that. All right. All right, away we go. Sunnyvale will be our first stop. Why was I driving over the speed limit? Okay. All right. Not a lot to see up here. Well, it doesn't feel like we're up higher than where it says we are. Feels like we're still. The other car, I think the engineer is down at the lower end. Must be a train in front of us. I'm a little bit worried about getting up to the speed too much. So I think we have. Let's see. Somebody's got to be in front of us. Yep, there's a train there. Let's see if we can get another gold here today. plane from San Jose International. I hear it, I don't see it though. Oh well. Maybe we just got the sound wrong. Looks like we might, if we speed up here, we might be able to go past that train that's in front of us, as I think it's stopping at a station right. It's pulling in there now, so it looks like we're gonna go right past it. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stops. Then we'll be in San Francisco. Right past the train that stopped there. Favorite train? I do like the Baby Bullet. I do like a lot of the German stuff. I don't know, I never really thought about it. Because, you know, it was a interesting game when I first started playing it. And then it kind of lost its luster, you know, with the... I think what did it for me was the whole fiasco with the, what was it called? There was like the 3-pack. There was like, Boston Providence, oh, I can't remember what it was supposed to be called. You know what I'm talking about, Amela. Yeah, the London commuter. That whole thing that happened, that really kind of put me off a bit. If only because, you know, this game is so full of promise, and then they just find a way to, you know, just screw it all up. Ooh, look at this. Uh-oh. Wow. Look at that. No warning whatsoever. Go via and then bang. Here's your station, by the way. I did, Joseph. Well, as long as a couple of the cars are still on the platform, I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to have to just go with it. Yeah, there was. Yeah, look at that. There was like no like bang, and it's you could tell it's been so long. At least they're on the platform, right? One door on the platform. Ah, the hell with it. Well, at least I didn't. I could have backed up, but there was no point in it, really. Oh, here a train or plane again. Let's see if we can see it this time. No, oh, it's already gone. Yeah, that's all right. Yeah, I think I remember that before. I should have remembered that it's that via. It's like bang there. You go via and then bam, there's the station right there. I totally forgot about that. Well, at least we got all of our passengers. We got there in time, so. Oh well. I should have remembered that. Yeah, that whole when they did all that for Train Sim World 2, that that kind of put me off. And I'm thankful that I can play the game on Game Pass and I don't have to pay for anything. You um, because part of it is I just don't feel like they've earned my money. You know, um, So yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it. It was fun because it it introduced me to you and to Richard and to Joseph and to Mick and Joe and a bunch of yeah, exactly from Cathcart Circle. Once they did that whole I can't remember the name of it. I wish I could, but after Cathcart, yeah, you're right. That's when things went downhill. The thing that I don't quite understand is that I never got the sense that Dovetail Games is like that they have some kind of an agreement with some other company, like whereas, you know, Massive works with Ubisoft, for instance, for the Division games, right? They're a part of Ubisoft, so if Ubisoft says release it, and even if Massive says but it's not working correctly, and Ubisoft says doesn't matter, put it out, you know. So I never got the sense that that was the case for Dovetail, that they had somebody that they were beholden to put content out. The only people that I thought they were beholden to was themselves. So why would you put out content if you knew, or that you were, you thought, well, no, this isn't gonna go well. We can't put this out, right? Hey, Scruffy, nice to see you here. I thought you were still on break, but hey, nice to see you. Just doing a little train simming here this morning. Here on my home route, Peninsula Corridor. But hopefully you have a good class. Hopefully it's a good day for you. Yeah, like I don't understand where did it come from that they felt like they had to put out that 3-pack of you had London Commuter, Boston to Providence, and there was a German route, I think. I forget. There was like 3 of them. And it was just a hot mess. So why did they do that? It wasn't like Activision or somebody else told them they had to, right? That's what I don't understand. So, why did that happen? That's what I don't quite get. That's it. Riesa, Dresden, Brighton Mainline, and Boston Providence. That's it. Yeah, I don't quite understand how that was allowed to happen. But I don't know. Maybe there's stuff about gaming business that I don't quite understand. Maybe I never will. But yeah, that's why I said, I like that new German route because I think those are closer to the trains that I used to ride when I was in Germany. And that would mean something to me to be able to, uh, to do all that. But at the same time, when I look at the price, I'm just like, I can't, in my mind, I just can't do it, you know. Let's see if we can stop better this time around. It's got to be California Street right there. Yeah, there's no telling. I don't know. Should be Stanford right here. I think was it past? It might be past. I miss Palo Alto. I love working around there. I worked in Menlo Park. Technically, it was Menlo Park, but it was also, in theory, East Palo Alto. There's Stanford. I don't think they use this stop unless there's a football game going on. There is a platform coming up here, but I don't think it's ever used except for when there's college football there at Stanford University. There it is right there. I think that's the only time it's used. I'm almost positive of that. I might have gotten on the brakes a little bit too soon. Yep, be a little bit late here at Palo Alto. No, not too bad of a stop. Ooh, got 500 out of that. Nice. All right, Road City is next. Rush Hour, that's what it was. Rush Hour. Rush Hour. I had to look it up because I was like, I know it was called something. Rush Hour was it. Yeah. Rush might be the understatement of the year. Yeah, Rush Hour. Yeah, that was you know, well, a lot of people like. I get it. London Commuter was, it was exciting because it was finally one of those routes that everybody, especially those folks in the UK, had been waiting on forever, and finally it was coming, and they just found a way to. Like I just don't. The thing that bugs me the most, I think, is that they never. I don't think they ever felt bad about how badly they screwed that whole thing up. Like I never got the sense that any of them felt bad about how that whole thing was released. They were just like, "Oh, we got our money. Eh, yeah." And then, you know, and I know if Mick was here, he would agree with me. They're so greedy that they can't even, like, the new routes on Train Sim World 3, they $40 for a new route. If I save double that, that's one new game, generally. You know, but $40 for one new route, and it's usually glitchy, it's bugged. You know, you can't get all the collectibles right away because, you know, they stuff got hidden somehow. Yeah, like I don't quite understand how, you know, like, where do you get the idea that you can charge like $19.99? I think is more than reasonable. You'll get enough people to buy it that you're gonna make a little bit of money back in return. Just like, you know, like the new Trenton route. It looks good. I think it's yeah, Trenton. Looks good, but would I pay that kind of price for it? No. Tornado hit Missouri. Yeah, $30 I think is fine. You know, because you know it'll go down to 19.99 at some point on sale. You know, but yeah, they don't seem like they feel bad about what they do. You know. And I get it. They have bills to pay. They have staff to pay. But if you drop the price a little bit and you start turning out a quality product, then people are going to buy it. They'll be willing to give you their money. But now it's like everything's a cash grab. You know, just like, you know, Captain Scam on Flight Sim. They look good initially, and then you buy it and it's just like, well, why did I spend, even if it's $20? Now it's like they spend you buy the plane for 20 and then you got to spend another 5 for a for your what do you call it, your liveries. Yeah, exactly. Like, I look at it and I'm just like, maybe if it went on sale I'd buy it, but I'm not I'm not that desperate for new routes, you know. So no, I can't validate it, and they'll probably drop it to 29.99, and I'll still say nope, because it should have been 29.99, drop down to 19.99 when they do a fall sale, because, you know, they're like, oh no, well, we didn't get enough people to buy it, so we'll put it on sale to try to make our money back, you know. San Mateo's next. Look at that. The things were raised up and they're not going back down as we. That's interesting. Okay. So yeah, I don't know. I their business practice, their whatever you want to call it, just seems to be a bit suspect to me. If they're not beholden to any investors or whatever, if it's just them themselves, I don't know why they're just pushing crap out the door. Other than they're hoping that nobody discovers how bad stuff really is. I don't know. Just like Aerosoft pulled the Twin Otter from the Microsoft marketplace. They said it'll be back, but they don't have any time frame or anything. That's another one of those planes that a lot of people were, especially on the Xbox, they were keen to get, and now nope, it's gone. They said it'll be back, but it's not coming to the Xbox anytime soon, even after we get the WASM fix, So what, now we gotta wait maybe another year before we see the Twin Otter on the Xbox? It just doesn't make much sense. But hey, it's their product, it's their choice, but when I saw that, I thought for sure that meant that they took, even the people that paid for it lost it. The people who paid for it still have it. It's just that nobody else can buy it now. They pulled it from all the marketplaces. Yeah. I just saw a thing somebody posted on Discord the other day that they pulled it from all the in-sim and other marketplaces, wherever they were selling it at. They pulled it, and they said it'll be back, but they don't know when. And yeah. So I mean, I guess they've got a lot of work. They just want to get, fix a bunch of stuff, but if people wanted to buy it and understood that, like the sounds were not up to standard, or there's an echo in my chat. Joseph. So there may be things that they want to fix, which is fine, that they should want to fix stuff. But if people wanted to buy it and say, okay, I understand that it's not going to be perfect, and I'll still enjoy it, or you can download sound mods to correct it or whatever. Not that would have been the case on the Xbox, but there's that's one of the planes I was looking forward to. But now, who knows how long it's going to take for them to correct it. So I mean, hopefully we see the DC. I am keen on the DC-6. I do want to get that. I think that would be a neat thing to fly. We're coming up to the end of the tour across America in the Junkers 52. I would like to do a DC-6, get that and do some stuff with that. I still got to do the Concorde thing. I really need to to get. Yeah, I want to do. Yeah, the one from PMDG. I am keen on that, and I do want to get at least one of the 737s from PMDG. Um, just because finally we'll have like a proper 737 in the game, in the sim, not the stuff from Braddock that is, it was fine, but it's really not that great, you know. So. Yeah, I wish I hadn't spent the money on it, but at the time it's like, ooh, a jetliner, nice. Finally, we got something other than the Airbuses, and maybe I should have waited, or just kind of like, yeah, because like the problem now is a lot of airlines don't do nonstop services anymore. Even on what was considered a long haul flight, they, if you're going, for instance, if I want truly now most companies they have a 777 that they, for like San Francisco, they depart from San Francisco, land in Honolulu, stop there, and then they go on to Tokyo. you know, or I'm just not on time today, am I? That's okay. I'm not too worried about it. We get whatever we get. It's fine. I'm not too. We're just having fun today. Just something different. So yeah, you don't even have like most airliners don't even fly the 747 anymore. They either do a Dreamliner if they're doing a nonstop service, or they're doing an A380. Not many, not many companies do a 747, but yeah, nonstop service, long haul is not cheap anymore. It used to be that they could afford it, but not, nope, not anymore.
Caution, the doors are about to close.
Millbrae's next, and then San Francisco will be right after that. So now trying to even replicate flights, real life flights, is kind of difficult because even though it's nice that we have a 747, and if we need a true cargo 747, not just delivery, but if you look in there that it's actually a cargo version of the 747, which is what most companies fly now. Cargo versions, although there are some passenger seats, but that's usually for the crew and maybe for like company employees to travel that way. But yeah, they don't there's very a lot of that stuff's changed, and so it's hard to, even if you want to replicate it, it's like, well, like the Ryanair flight I did the other day, that's not in an A320, that's in a 737-800 or 737-8 Max is what Ryanair flies, not a A320. I could try it in the Braddock 737. I think there is a Ryanair livery for that 737, but that 737 is suspect. I don't know. But, you know, with the sim, it's nice to have the proper aircraft and the proper liveries and being able to enjoy it because it's a bit more realistic. You know, it adds more realism to the sim. You know, but it's also like those people who like, oh, I want to see this route on the game, and well, you know, that's expensive, and they got to get somebody out there to scan it all in and make it look good, and you know, there's a lot of work that goes into that. You know, a lot of information that they have to collect. You know, they have to get access to the train systems themselves to try to replicate that. Like, I would think it'd be amazing if we had Bart on here, but you know, how would Bart charge them a boatload of money for the likeness of the train system? You know, that stuff isn't cheap. You know, I would love it though if it was like the new Bombardier trains that they have for Bart. They look sharp, I think. You know, but all that stuff isn't cheap, and you got to get permission. It's not like they can just. I mean, you can try to come up with it on your own, but you're still probably going to get sued for copyright infringements of some kind. You know, just like people were like, well, just do the Santa Fe stuff. Well, if they do that, people are, you know, BNSF is going to sue them for copyright infringement. They can't afford a lawsuit like that. Oh, much better stop. Still a little bit late. It's all right. We're just having fun. Good, clean fun. You know, because notice there is no BART train here, even though you should see, in theory, if this was a true simulator, we would have BART trains coming in and out of the station going to and from San Francisco International. Yeah, these are because it's got the, there's a third rail. Right there, and it's covered by this white plastic thing that covers over the rail so it doesn't get messed up by the weather. But those crack over time. Like if you see, like over the East Bay, the a lot of those plastic covers are all cracked because of the weather. They sit out there in the sun and all that, and it just they you know after a while they have to be replaced. But that's yeah, those are all BART tracks that it goes under here, and then eventually it goes out to the airport way out there somewhere. But you can, or the other thing you can do also is you can take the BART train from San Francisco International. You don't have to come to Millbrae. You can go straight into the city from there as well. So you can do that. So it gives you the option, really. Yeah. But like when I flew into San Francisco and I stayed in Millbrae, I thought about taking BART to Millbrae, but I was like, nah, it's going to be crowded, possibly, and it's just another ticket that I don't really want to have to buy. Although I did buy a BART ticket eventually when I took the BART train from San Francisco over to Castro Valley where I grew up. Because you have to have it's a separate, it's not an all-inclusive train ticket, I don't think. Maybe there is one now, but at least when I was there, it was always a separate ticketing system. Really what they need to do is put it all under one thing, so that no matter what system you're riding on, you just have one card that you swipe and it just deducts the payment right off the card. That would be preferable, I think. Because otherwise you have to have a BART ticket, you have to have a Caltrain pass, But I think on Caltrain you can get like a monthly pass. You just show it, and the conductor on the train just, punches the card or whatever. Another wow from Joseph. But yeah, I think it'd be great if they had like a system where it was just all one card, and that way you don't have to have multiple things to keep track of. But maybe they will have that eventually. It's just that BART is its own entity, Caltrain is its own entity, and how do you get them all to agree on how fair is didn't know what, Joseph? Would you care to explain? You say wow. What's the wow for, Joseph? Or what is it that you didn't know? I mean, yeah, see, it's not, in California, like Caltrain is its own thing, and BART is its own thing. That's how it's always been, because when BART started, I think Caltrain had either just started on taking over this route, or it might have been that Caltrain was in its infancy when BART started, because it was supposed to be like a way of getting people to the city, for instance, a lot quicker than driving. So you would pack onto a train, and then they were like, oh, we should expand here and try to reach more people so that more people will ride the train instead of driving. It was always supposed to be a reduction in vehicle traffic. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So BART is set up like BART and Caltrain both have like a zone system. You pay by zone. So if you want to ride from one end to the other, you have to buy a ticket that covers from one end to the other. Or and everything in between. So when I took the train from San Francisco across over to the East Bay, you have to have enough money on your BART ticket to go there and back. So what you could do is you could put enough on, but then if you say you put $30 on there, but you only use 20, well, that 10 just sits there. You can't get that 10 back. There's no way to get your money back. I don't think. Maybe they changed that, but I think that value just stays on the card, and then if you never use it, well, that's on you. But BART was for me was always like a functional. It worked because I could go, from the East Bay. Now we didn't have a station there in Castro Valley when I was growing up. That didn't come until much later. But I would go to the station there at the mall at Bayfair, hop on the BART train, and go to um, I could go to San Francisco from there. I could go to Berkeley, you know. So it was an easy way if you were a teenager but you didn't have a car, your friends didn't have a car. Well, take the BART. You know. I mean, that's how I used to go to Berkeley to go comic book shopping when I collected comic books. It was just a convenient way to get to Berkeley because we'd get off the station and then you walk up, and I'd go to the first store, and then I would walk through the campus, and then head down Telegraph to Comics and Comics. You know, so that was how it was a convenient way to get around. Was it probably the safest? No, probably not. But generally, whether I travel alone or just you try to find a place that seems safe on the train, and you just sit down and keep to yourself. But just like my friend and I would take Caltrain, one of these trains, up to the city to go to Giants games. Because parking's already crazy priced as it is, but you can walk. I mean, it's not a far walk to the stadium from the station. Really, and it's not a bad walk from the station all the way down to Fisherman's Wharf, and where all the seafood restaurants and all that is, or restaurants in general. A lot of them are seafood themed, but it's not a very far walk either. So if the weather's nice, if you go up there a couple hours before the game, you can walk down there, have dinner, hang out for a while, and then go to the game. And then, if what my buddy and I would do is, if by the seventh inning stretch it didn't seem like the Giants are going to win, we would just, we would wait through the "Take Me Out to the Ballpark" song, and then we would walk to the station, and then we'd hop on, catch an early train back, because it's like, well, there's no point in sitting through an inning and a half of baseball, or 2.5 innings, and then they're not going to win. There's a very slim chance that they're going to get back into it. So, So we'd leave. So, but yeah, that's that's how public transportation in the Bay Area is pretty good. Not gonna lie. But you had BART, you had Caltrain. Over in the East Bay, you have what they call AC Transit, which is Alameda County Transit. Must be somebody ahead of us. Oh yeah, I used to take AC Transit all the time. That's how I would walk to the BART station, and it was pretty cheap back then. I don't know what the price is now, but I would walk up the hill from where I lived, and then I would go on AC Transit to get to the mall, and then I would get there and then just hop on the BART train. The Dodge. Yep, we just passed it. We stopped there earlier on the first trip, Abella. Yep, the dodgy 22nd Street. That's it. But yeah, that's what I would do, you know. So if I wanted to go to the mall, I would have to take AC Transit to get to, wherever I wanted to go. And that even included, I think, that it went to Bayfair, which was the main mall closest to where I lived, and then I think you could take the bus to the other mall, Southland, which was a little bit more posh mall because it had Emporium Capwells when they were still in business. Yeah, they had Emporium Capwells, that's right. I think they had Emporium Capwells, they had Macy's. Yeah, it was like the posher mall. The one closest to where I lived had Sears, J.C. Penney's, I think. It wasn't as posh as the other mall. Or, if it was summertime, you could ride your bike. You could. I usually walked a lot. You know. I walked quite a bit. Like when I was in high school, I didn't have a car. I walked to and from high school. Maybe a friend of mine would give me a ride home. You know, somebody I knew would stop and say, "Hey, you want a ride?" Sure, thanks. But it wasn't required. Oop, speeding excessively. I wasn't paying attention to the. Heck, there was times when I'd walk home from middle school. That was way across town. So when I was telling my dad how bad people freak out where I live. The Walmart is 3/4 of a mile away. Everybody's like, 3/4 of a mile? Oh my God, that's insane. 3/4 of a mile. It's not that far, honestly. It's not that bad. Heck, for today, if the weather still stays pretty good, even though it's a little bit suspect, I don't know. I could walk to the mall for my appointment if I really want to. Maybe a mile and a half. It's not that far. But people, why would you do that? Yeah, it's It's a little bit cloudy here, but it doesn't look like it's going to rain. But that can change at any moment today. Yeah, I don't mind walking. You never know what you're going to see when you go for a walk. Not that you should be getting up in other people's business, but it's just sometimes you don't you just pass by something, you don't really pay attention to it, and then you're like, oh, look at this, I saw something different today. Sometimes it's way too dodgy on the bus. Not gonna lie. I despise taking the bus because it's just people are just way too. A lot of people are very strange on the bus. Some trains departing somewhere. Oh, looks like that one right there. Uh-oh. Ooh, oh boy. Ooh, we slowed down just enough. We bumped right off of there. Ha ha! Woo! We got a 500 out of that one. And we're on time, too, I think. Yep. We got there just in time, I think. Well, I thought for sure we were going to spad that one. Almost did a Joseph. We lucked out. We just kind of bounced right back off of it. There we go. That should be gold right there. Ta-da! There we are. All right. Yeah, it was, Joseph. It was, but we did okay. Thank you, Mella. All right. Well, that's going to do it for today, folks. Thank you all for coming in and hanging out today. I'll be back Friday. We'll do maybe some more Train Sim World 3 or something. Who knows? I'll think about it. Maybe I don't know. We'll see what we come up with. And then that'll do. So anyway, thank you all for coming in and hanging out. I will catch you all Friday. I have been and always shall be your host and train engineer, pilot, whatever, Uncle B. Until Friday, peace, live long and prosper.